Hi, so I will show us some few um, tips about the blending options that we can use and add some effects to our test. So I will just show us one. This gradient, I'm going to make a particular test effect from it. So let's copy what we have. Now, let me try to reset it a bit. Let me reset it blending option. Prefer that, let's know that we can actually hide some effect that we don't know we are not using by coming to here this place. We can turn off the gradient if we don't want it. We can turn off strokes if we don't want the stroke and all of that. We can turn off any effect we don't really want. We have two strokes, we can turn off one and leave the other one. So let's say we turn off one, we don't need this. Yeah, let's turn this off. Now we want to create a particular effect that looks a bit very special. So first, let's include the leading to a very long to about 75. Okay, 75 is good. Now let's duplicate this test. I will just drag it and drop on. So I'll just drag and drop this on the create new layer tab. It's going to make a duplicate for me. Then I'll right click and turn it to rasterize type. And I'll let me rasterize layer 2, layer style. So I have no, I cannot edit this text again because I've rasterized it. It's now an icon. Cannot edit it again. Cannot edit it again. If I come to click on text, to click on rasterize it just to make it a vector image. So it's now vector. I cannot edit it again. So add your effect before you rasterize. Get the effect of what you want. Now, the next thing to do is I would click on this marker to drag on it. Then after dragging, then I'll select, right click and layer by cut. I'll do it for all of it. Layer by cut, layer by cut. So there's an error there now that I just observed. So if you do layer by cut first, you have to go back and click on where you're cutting from, which is the gradient. So if I come back here after selecting, I'll do layer by cut again. I'll come again and select, right click again. But before you come here, if I click layer by cut, it will pop. Could not make a new layer from the selection because the selected layer is empty. So because we are not selecting the gradient layer that is the original layer, so we need to come back here, select the gradient layer that's layer before we now do the layer by cut. So the same thing applies to this. After selecting, come and click here, layer by cut, select again, select layer by cut, select again, layer by cut. So let's select this properly well. Okay, so right click, layer by cut. So after that, we now have all our layers in different pieces. So we have all our layers in different pieces. So this is the first G, this is the first G, the R, so we can move them separately and all of that. So if we have this, let's select all the layers from this gradient copy to this one, hold on shift to select all of it, and let's drag it as a group. Let's drag and drop it on this folder icon. So we just created a group for it. So now let's create different shadow on each of it. So for the first one, right click, blending option. So on blending option, we'll come to shadow, drop shadow. So you can see it now has a shadow. It now has a shadow. Now let's make the shadow spread a bit, and distance should be left. Let's increase the size of the shadow. Okay, I think size is okay that way, and distance so much. You can increase the opacity of the shadow. So you're looking at this, then you can try to reduce the opacity a bit again. Then we can move the shadow depending on what we want, which we will not be doing. Let's move it back to something better than what we had before. So let's move the shadow. Let's rotate it to get a better. I think if we have this, okay, this is nice. Give it a good distance, and let's, okay, okay, okay. So let's use the shadow. Then click OK. We can still adjust some options. This is the quality of the shadow contour. Depending on what we want, quality of shadow contour. But I prefer using the default one. Then remove this. I can move this and drop on this. So just cast shadow on this and make a cast shadow on it a bit. Then the same thing applies to it. So instead of going back and creating fresh effects, I can just copy this particular one. I click copy effects, copy effects. Then I'll select all and paste the effects. Hold on, shift, select the ones I don't have. Paste effects, paste layer effect. I pasted layer effect on every single thing. Then I can now go and so make sure you are out of the selection so that I can pick it bit by bit. This one is underneath, so I can bring it up. I can bring this. Let me take it close. Then I'll move them as soon as I'm done. Okay, everything is at the back of each other. Holding on shift while dragging so that I can still maintain the straight line effect that was there initially. Okay, so gradient. So these are is the thing, it's not falling on each other. So the G can come up. Just drag it from the layer and put it at the top on top of layer one. Now the G, then the G can be on top of. So, but I'm not getting the effect I really want, so I'll swap it the other way around. That means I'll bring all of this down, the gradient down, the gradient down, the 7 down, this down, gradient down, then I'll bring this 7 down, the 6 underneath the 7, and then the 5 underneath the 6, then the 4 underneath the 5, then this 3 underneath the 4, and the 2 underneath the 3, and the 1, which is the last one, underneath the 2. Now, okay, and this is what I have after rearranging it. So I select all and position it at the center. Position at the center. Let's hide this one here. Then we can so gradient. So this is a test effect I can use in some of in graphic design and all of the design component trying to make or something. So that is that for effect, test effects. You can be creative, think of what those blending options could do for you that can give you. We have glow and every other effect also that can give you something more nice. Glow effect to make it look. Let's duplicate this and let's use glow effect for this. blending option. I can decide to clear effect, then blending option. You can use glow effect. Then you can use outer glow, change the color of the outer glow. Playing with this is enough. This is a bright yellowish color, warm color. Then you can reduce the effect a bit. Size so much. So just understand that color relationship really matters here. Understand contrast too. All the color principles to apply is in this particular one. So let's apply a gradient into it. Yeah, okay, let's still use the formal gradient color and let's give it a stroke. Let's give it a black stroke or white stroke. Let's see what we get. White stroke, white. Let's use different color. Red. Contrast is not good. Black. See the black. See what the black is giving us. You can add more stroke. You can add more options to the effect here. You can add more effects here. Just different. You can reduce the stroke for this. Let's go back to the outer glow to make it more bright. You can use gradient for your outer glow too by double tapping it and you see more options to work with. Okay, let's increase the size of this glow. So you can use glow effects and all of that. Depending on what you desire. So see you in the next tutorial.